What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Dermy Wormy. Now, South Park entering the Pandaverse released last Friday. I thought it was phenomenal. I thought it was downright amazing, and I have some evidence here to go to. Like, hey, a lot of people are liking it. A lot of people are enjoying it. A lot of people actually kind of agree with what's happening there. Now, granted, you got some people trying to say it was listen, it roasted both sides. That's the important part here. It roasted both sides. Yes, simply complaining that things are woke is also retarded. Okay, just gotta put it out there. It's also stupid to simply say, hey, everything's woke, everything's boring, yelling and screaming about it. You have to actually say kind of why, and also try to put out content of your own, do stuff like that. Like, they roast both sides. I'm of the opinion that they could have roasted us a whole lot better. Like, all they do is have a throwaway line. But I have the Rotten Tomatoes here to point out that, hey, did pretty darn well. You even have IMDb over here, popularity. It's amazing. It's at 8.0 out of 10. Again, I have my criticisms of the episode. I think you guys could have come after us a whole lot harder than a few throwaway lines, okay? But, you got Forbes coming out saying South Park joining the Pandaverse review, Disney satire at its finest. And I agree again. Perfect encapsulation of what's going on in modern day as a whole, because it wasn't just shooting the shots at Disney, at Lucasfilm, at Marvel, at anything like that. It was also talking about struggles with AI and how society as a whole has become lazy. They talked about multiverses, how multiverses in pop culture and in media is lazy. They talked about how we're using race changes and race, sex, gender, all those stupid, basically immaterial things to a character, changing a character on those lines. That's just lazy writing. It's an excuse for lazy writing. It's an excuse for laziness as a whole. And yes, they used Kathleen Kennedy as the stand-in. They roasted the hell out of Kathleen Kennedy. Make that, put a woman in it, make it gay, make it lame. They roasted the hell out of her, but they were accurate in roasting her. But at the same time, it's not just Kathleen Kennedy. You got people like Bob Iger. They left Bob Iger off the hook. I think Bob Iger being the creator of all this, and they do mention that, hey, Bob Iger is the creator of all this, saying that, hey, he showed them the Panda Stone, that Kathleen Kennedy abused it, what have you. But they didn't go after Marvel. They went after Marvel in the latest season. They mentioned it, but they didn't roast Marvel. They didn't roast all of Disney. They mainly pointed the finger at Kathleen Kennedy, but she was more the stand-in for the actual stuff going on. And yes, they do have a line towards the end where, Cartman says, hey, yeah, I was sending all this hate mail and you were reacting to me, and I guess roasting woke stuff is lame too. Okay, yeah, could have gone a whole lot harder, but that's not all. We ended up having Gina Carano, the lovely and glorious Gina Carano, came out and made a statement, and some of the shill sites are commenting on her statement, on commenting on what the heck she said. And we'll go over what she said, because granted, I think it's a little bit more pointed than it probably needed to be, but I also agree with what her statement is, because let's check out how this originates. comicbookmovie.com starts off in South Park joining the Pandaverse. Trey Parker and Matt Stone once again set their sights on Disney, and more specifically I can read Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy. Oh, I forgot to actually read the headline of this. Fired! The Mandalorian star Gina Carano shares bizarre anti-Kathleen Kennedy tirade following South Park parody. Well, we'll get into what she said, but I'm trying to read the setup here beforehand, because also Scream Rant does a similar thing. But exploring the idea of forced wokeness in Hollywood movies, the duo eviscerates those on both sides of the debate, pointing out the hypocrisy in a way only South Park can. The special goes all in on Kennedy, though no real shock after the way the show recreated the Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull in the late 2000s, with scenes depicting George Lucas and Steven Spielberg quite literally graping Indy, and analogy for people saying their childhoods had been graped. Someone who particularly enjoyed the depiction of Kennedy is ousted The Mandalorian star Gina Carano. She was fired in February 2021 after repeated social media posts which saw her share conspiracy theories about the pandemic and even compare the reaction to her being a conservative. She's not a Republican, she's more conservative, to what the Jewish people suffered in Nazi Germany. People have also deemed the former MMA fighter to be anti-trans based on various remarks. Beep, bop, boop. But no, they don't actually mention a whole lot. They don't mention the fact that at the same time they let one of the most awful things about Gina Carano's firing isn't that she was fired. It was the double standard effect. That's what people really got pissed off here. And that's what people forget whenever they talk about Gina Carano's termination. Because at the same time, you had, not Pablo. Well, actually, yeah, you had Pablo Hidalgo. You had people all throughout Lucasfilm. You had Mandalorian star who's Pedro Pascal. That's who I was going for first. But Pablo Hidalgo, being a writer, they put out their own political views all the time, railing on anybody who's on the right, ragging on them, saying awful, heinous things. Actually, I vividly remember Pedro Pascal putting out a thing with the, MAGA hats being associated with Yahtzee symbolism and Ku Klux Klan, all the same thing. That was a tweet that he ended up taking down, but that was a tweet that he put out. And the biggest problem with the Gina Carano firing was that she got fired for her own views. It was the hypocrisy of everything. It was the double standard effect of everything. They don't ever want to tell you about that. And also all of her things. Her things were, hey, let's not lock down. Hey, don't demonize your neighbor the same way that they did back then. And it was actually very mild tweets. Everything by comparison was mild, where one side viciously attacks you if you support a certain demographic. She basically said, hey, let's not do this. That's what it boiled down to. And then the beep, bop, boop as her pronouns actually had her sit in front of they wanted her to basically go through a shame, the shame thing, 72 Zoom call with 72 people, that kind of thing. I can't think of the name of it right now. But since then, Carano has doubled down on what many argue are far-right beliefs, essentially ending her mainstream acting career. She's largely been relegated to low-budget conservative fare, with one project earning $804 at the box office. Well, it was a project that had only one movie theater play it, and the rest, that's actually more on Daily Wire's position, because again, they had only one screening of it at a red carpet screening, and everything else was behind a paywall. That's Daily Wire. So I mean, yeah, it's not great, but let's take a look at Peter Pan. Let's take a look at all the Disney Plus shows that are put behind a paywall, or Netflix shows that are put behind the paywall. So that's not a fair comparison. But anyways, so they move on, and I'm going to pull up what Gina Carano actually says here, okay? She quote tweets Geeks and Gamers doing a clip, which we cannot play, but let's read this. This is the part where KK demands any YouTubers get censored off of YouTube for sharing and laughing at this hilarious episode. Yeah, it was hilarious. It was funny. She'll have YouTube disable the thumbs down option because of the ratio she'll receive. That I don't fully agree with the idea that Disney stepped in. I think it was the White House that stepped in because it happened around the same time. But yes, shockingly enough, when you went over to Disney Star Wars YouTube channels, all the thumbs down were always super low, but that is a theory that Disney stepped in to do all that. But hey, hey, she's pointing something out. She's pointing out logic here. I don't agree with it. Then she'll have her publicist ghouls make sure Variety and Hollywood Reporter run hit piece about the South Park creators and their families, smearing their names through every useful idiot she has under her thumb who would sell their soul to work for Lucasfilm. Getting a little specific there, but that's kind of the point. She'll activate her online mob to repeat that the South Park creators are racists, bigots, transphobes, and demand the South Park creators publicly apologize by only using words she approves of, and finally she'll demand they subject themselves to a re-education course of 45 people in the LGBTQ community Zoom call to sit there and listen to of how badly they got their feelings hurt all over a little boop of a South Park episode. But maybe, just maybe, the jig is up. Thumbs up, winky faces. Oh, that's wonderful. But you got Screen Rant, you got, they even point out the whole thing, and they have this nice little tweet here, leaving it to the South Park to not only dunk on Disney for virtue signaling, but also grifter weirdos who made hating Kathleen Kennedy their entire personality. I also love how those same people are too dumb to realize they're also being made fun of. Gosh darn, what a great episode. Actually, they know they're being made fun of, and they're fine with being made fun of. That's the funny part. They're more than happy to be made fun of. But back over here, shill sites are pointing out that Gina Carano made a comment. It's so weird. Why is she saying this? Oh my God, she's continuing her Star Wars hate. But her comments actually are about her. Her comments are everything that happened to her. If you remove Trey Parker, South Park, or anything like that, it's about her. She was pointing out that, hey, this happened to me. This happened to me outright. And it happened under KK. Okay? That's what's happening here. Everybody's finally acknowledging that Kathleen Kennedy and Disney is the problem. It's stupid. It's lazy. They're out of ideas. They're hypocrites. But hey, but this is a weird tweet. This is an awkward tweet. Why is she making these tweets? Oh my God, her hate for Star Wars has continued, despite the fact that it's actually becoming more mainstream to acknowledge that Disney, Star Wars, Disney, Marvel, Disney, everything is going in the gutter. I saw one article, and I can't remember where it was, that was kind of like a gasp at the idea that Disney stock is falling and Bob Iger is there and he's freaking out over it. And it's like, but the Disney stock is falling. Everything's falling. Enter the Pandaverse is a perfect satire of everything. And at the same time, it is also pointing out like this stuff is happening and it's lazy and stupid. That's all it is. Okay, at the end of the day, everything Disney's been doing, everything Hollywood's been doing is lazy and stupid, and Gina Carano's tweet here is actually more poignant than ever before. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me get your thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it out, friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye for now. What's going on, guys? Listen, I don't know about you, but I like to indulge in some of the liquids of fun times, okay? And oftentimes I wake up the next day with a headache and stuff like that. And to be honest, the only way that truly helps cure these morning blues, as I would call them, would be coffee. And you know who puts out good coffee, guys? Coffeebrandcoffee.com. Listen, Coffee Brand Coffee is an American-based company. It was founded by the Quartering. He's going out there. He just wants to sell you coffee. He doesn't want to sell you a political opinion. He doesn't care what your politicals are. He doesn't even care what your cultural opinions are, okay? He just wants to come out here and sell good American coffee sourced here in the States. It It is all fantastic and amazing. You have 4,000 verified reviews. Most of them are 5-star, 4-star. People are loving this, and I don't blame them, because when you take a look at some of these flavors, you got bourbon flavored coffee. God dang, that sounds amazing. You got gunpowder green tea. I like the boom boom sticks, and I want to know what's going on right there. And when I drink CoCo, I haven't drank it in a while due to the keto diet, trying to lose some weight. But when I do drink CoCo or anything like that, I like some sweetness, I like some richness, and I like some enjoyability in my CoCo. That's why I'm taking a look over here at this rich caramel CoCo. I mean, just think of how amazing it is. And guys, if you go to Coffee Brand Coffee, which links will be in the description down below, you can use coupon code BACKTACO, one word, BACKTACO, and you can get 10% off your purchase. That's coffeebrandcoffee.com, coupon code BACKTACO.